coronavirus. And the World Health Organization has now declared that this has the potential of becoming a worldwide epidemic. And the World Health Organization is the most competent organization in the world to speak on the subject, because it brings together all the ministries of health, all the ministers of health from all the countries around the world. All of them are there in Geneva. And the World Health Organization has now declared that coronavirus has the potential to becoming a worldwide epidemic. Let me then remind you, if you're in Pakistan, if you're in India, if you're in Bangladesh, if you're in Indonesia, these heavily populated Muslim countries, let me remind you once again of the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam pertaining to plagues or epidemics. The word which used to be used long ago was plague, and the new term is epidemic. They don't want to use the word plague anymore. A subject that the Pakistani students studying in the Chinese city of Wuhan don't know about. Nobody ever taught them about it. Strange. What kind of people you are? And you're from Pakistan, Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Nobody ever taught you? Our Prophet said, he said, count 6 things before Qiyamah, before the Sa'ah. And this was at the time of the Tabuk Ghazwa. He said, among the 6 things was mutan, plague, which will attack you and kill you the way it kills sheep, ghanam, mutan. So Nabi Muhammad ﷺ prophesied plagues. Today we recognize it as biological warfare because it's not happening by accident. We know that. There are those who are manufacturing these viruses in the laboratories and who are planting them as part of biological warfare, and they're waging war on China. They are the ones who are fueling, and they are inciting, and they're financing, and they're arming the Uyghur Muslims in China to rise up in uprising against China. Every fool knows that except these. These fools don't know it. And when you try to inform them, they're so brainwashed. It goes in here, it comes out there, and they still keep on hammering the Chinese government. So let these fools go their way, and let us go ours. Biological warfare is a fact of life in Akhiru Zaman. And the coronavirus is, in our opinion, an act of biological warfare against China. Because they're waging war on China and they're waging war on Russia. That's right, they're waging war. But there's a big fool with a PhD in stupidity. And he says, no, Russia is a part of the alliance and China is a part of the alliance. And they're just pulling wool over our eyes. This is the fool with a PhD in stupidity. So now then, since the World Health Organization has declared the coronavirus to be potentially a worldwide epidemic, it can come to Trinidad tomorrow. One person has already died in the United States yesterday, I think, from coronavirus. Large numbers of people have been infected in Iran, including a member of the government. And Pakistan has to close its border with Iran. Turkey has closed it. Russia has stopped people from China entering into Russia. All of these things are taking place. What has our Prophet said concerning viruses, concerning epidemics? Please, please, please remember these words, and please reach it out to others who don't know. They don't have sufficient interest. They just have interest in eating the biryani and going home and sleep. So you have to reach out to them and teach them. Our Prophet has said, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam, if you are in an area where the plague breaks out, the epidemic breaks out, do not leave. Do not leave. If you leave, you could spread the virus. This is a man who lived 1400 years ago, when modern medical science never knew about viruses at that time. Modern medical science now knows about viruses. They didn't know at that time. And yet he said, do not leave. And he says, if you're outside, do not enter. Hence, he gave to the world the concept of a quarantine. And that's what you have to do here in Trinidad. If the virus breaks out in San Fernando, then do not flee from San Fernando to go to Black Seychelles. No. Remain in San Fernando, and people from Port of Spain tell them, don't enter into San Fernando. What happens if you remain in San Fernando and you die from the plague or the epidemic? What happens? Our Prophet said that if you remain and you die, you will die as a martyr, shaheed, which means you go straight to heaven. This is a message conveyed through IBN, not just to the Muslims of Trinidad and Tobago, but to the Hindus, to the Christians, to everybody. And it will help the government of Trinidad and Tobago if these words of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ can be applied. The principle of quarantine. This much then for coronavirus. In the weeks and months that lie ahead, we'll see whether or not the virus does become a worldwide